And the players getting together for a little chat as we're just about ready to get going here. And it's the Clippers coming in from out of town for this one, an interconference game today. Sit back and enjoy this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports fans. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Jared Sullinger in this one?
Well, Clark knows more about Sullinger than I do, being that they're both Buckeyes. But I'll tell you what I like about him is just the fact that he's got that big, wide base, so strong inside, and uses that strength as leverage to get shots off inside and get offensive rebounds.
Yeah, he's anchored in pretty well as a fundamentally sound low-post scorer. I mean, he knows what he's doing down there, uses angles well, deceptive strength, and the footwork is really solid.
Thrilled to be back in Boston. The Celtics ready for that home court advantage. They're faced now with what is probably the easiest part of their schedule. They've got a lot of home games on the docket, but they can't take anything, guys, for granted.
You know, looking at Boston, boy, they've been one of the big stories of the early season so far, and for all the right reasons, too.
Yeah, that's right. They've been better than anybody could have predicted to this point. They don't have a lot of star power, but they play together. The pieces seem to fit. And, you know, they were flying under the radar, but all of a sudden now people are starting to recognize how good they are. And how did he get that to go?
Even after the whistle, I like the awareness, the alertness, and the presence of mind to finish the play.
The Celtics shooting their first foul shot of the night.
Well, impressive free throw shooting as a team this season, right around that 78% mark.
Boy, you look at the Clippers, and they clearly are one of the most entertaining teams in the NBA. One of the outstanding team shows you'll see. They have fun, they're up and down. But they're a hard-working group, and a lot of that you have to attribute to their leader, Chris Paul.
He feeds it to Barnes. Shot clock at 6. He kicks it to Paul. From deep. The offensive rebound. Clippers on defense. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
It was an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it was on the road. No question, by the way, that it was their offense that carried it.
Steve, I love the way they attacked at every opportunity. They never were on their heels, and eventually that allowed them to pull away.
Well, Clark, as you were taking a look at the Clippers, they are a fun team, an amazing product so far with big names all around. But, you know, Steve, they've got to work hand in hand to make sure they're always at their best and not take things for granted.
Well, I think it's still a team that's a work in progress. You've got some young front line and Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, great point guard in Paul, but the new additions have helped, and I think it'll be interesting to see if this team can gel during the playoffs.
They grab their own miss.
Ridiculous. Tore it down that time. Boy, terrific rebound and slam on the putback. He never gives up, always persistently pursuing the pumpkin.
And that's an essential quality for an offensive rebounder. An outstanding offensive rebounder that he is.
Yeah, he's got to go after it, and he does.
Yeah, he qualifies as one of the best in the league.
The drive by Rondo. He dishes it to Sullinger. Paul with the steal. Barnes kicks to Jordan. Clippers moving the ball around. Crawford passes to Paul. And he nails the jumper. Paul's got his first bucket of the night. Last game for the Celtics, they pick up the win against the Nets in Brooklyn.
And it says something about them that even when they're not at their best, and they definitely weren't in that game, they can still win comfortably.
Well, they were better than the box score might indicate. I mean, you don't win in the fashion they did without doing a lot of the little things there, Steve.
Now here's Barnes after the miss from Flash. And there's Barnes. That's good on the assist by Jordan. Rondo with it, averaging 9 points per contest.
Well, one thing that Byron Mullins added last year was a three-point shot, and he wasn't shy at all about trying it out. I mean, it was still a work in progress, and right now I think it's a part of his game.
Al Paul after the missed three from Flash. Los Angeles shooting their first foul shots of the night here. And it's tied up with that one. And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Here's Flash. Boston, no good that time either. And to go back to Mullins, not the best percentage from outside, but he is a spot of big man.
Well, if he can get his three-point percentage up a little higher, along with his decent rebounding, I think they found something in terms of a player who can be a consistent threat in that front court.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Paul gets a screen from Jordan. Rondo against Paul. Count the bucket. Paul's got 6 points.
Guys, I would call that methodical but explosive. He waits for the opportunity and then boom, right to the rack.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Here's Flash. And out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Taking a look at Houston. They like where they stand right now, perched in that topmost position. And, of course, there's Los Angeles. Right now, they're 5 spots below them.
Checking out Los Angeles. They've been holding their own to start the season. This is a team that is worthy of keeping an eye on. A solid start, and they could maintain this momentum for a while.
Well, we know they're a playoff contender. That's something that was easily predictable. The question is, what steps can they take to improve a little bit more to get to the point where they can become a true championship contender?
Good on both.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
Rondo passes to Flash. Pass to Green. Flash. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Flash has got 7 points. You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, here's what the Celtics head coach had to say when we spoke just a few minutes ago. He said Chris Paul is a major concern for them because of his ability to lead a team. He said it all starts with Paul because once he gets going and gets everyone involved, the whole team becomes a well-oiled machine. That is something we're definitely worried about.
Thank you, Doris. Now here's Rondo following the shot by Chris Paul. Passes it to Sullinger. Out of bounds, Celtics ball as Boston keeps possession. Here's Flash, guarded by Crawford. 6 to shoot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Not many teams, guys, in the East did very well against the West last season. And that in mind, you could call Boston's 14-16 record against the conference better than most.
And for the Celtics against the West, even in the shortened season, they were having a lot of trouble with some of the bigger lineups, Steve. More of the up-tempo teams out west.
Well, the Celtics were old and a little bit small, too. Kevin Garnett played center last year, so they played a lot of small lineups. And when you're small and you're old, sometimes, that's going to cost you, particularly on the road.
Now here's Barnes, averaging 10 points per contest. Back to Paul.